Okay, good morning everyone. We're going to continue the knife that I was working on yesterday. You can see I've prepared all the handle material. These are the pieces of hippo tooth that I descaled for you in a video earlier, plus 2 pieces of African blackwood. What I've done is I've stacked it all together with some brass spacers just for accent, to accentuate the separation of the stacked layers. It's been pre-assembled with a nut on the end with a little plastic washer. This is not glued together yet. The reason I do this is just to make sure that when we hold it up to the light, there are no, you can see there by the guard there's a little bit of light showing through there, and I will quickly grind that and adjust it to make that little bit of light go away, which just makes sure that everything sits nice and snugly together. Once we've got that all fitting perfectly, I'm going to take this piece of bronze here. I've marked across, so we're going to center punch. We're going to drill a hole and tap the hole. Now the hole does not go all the way through the piece of bronze. It goes about 2/3 of the way through, and I've got my drill bit set up here. We're going to clamp the bronze in here like this. We're going to drill the center. We're going to remove the drill bit, put in a tapping bit, and we'll tap it while it's in the drill press. Okay, so let me just fix that little gap there. Okay, so here's the handle in all its pieces. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces. I'm going to try to do this single-handed and assemble the handle. You can see here I've welded on a threaded rod. Now I know there are a lot of guys, I'm sure you can weld much better than I can, but for what it's for, this is plenty strong. It just needs to hold the handle together. There is no intrinsic weakness in it. Despite what it looks like, this is a clean weld, and it's going to hold well. If you've got any negative comments about my welding, feel free to PM me, but please, I'm not interested in any remarks about how better you are than I am at welding. Alright. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to assemble it with one hand. 1, 2, 3, and the last piece. Okay, put my little washer on the end and my little nut. Okay, so I'm going to give it a quick tighten and we'll check again. Okay, so there we go, the gap's gone. Check that way as well. And it looks okay. Excellent. Alright, so the next step then is to put this in the drill vise and drill the hole. But the first thing I'm going to do is mark it. Now I'm going to set the camera up like I did yesterday so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so a little bit more experience from the other day. I'll set the camera up a little bit more clearly so we can see what's going on. We are going to center punch and then prepare for drilling. Making sure everything is parallel and even. Nice and tight. Drill bit's tight. Now, you can use a depth gauge to measure how thick your bronze is so that you don't drill all the way through. For me, I'll just do it by eye. Okay, that should be deep enough. Okay, for the camera to see. You see I've drilled a little hole in there. Now it does not go all the way through. Okay. Then, without removing it from the vise, remove the drill bit. Now I've used a 6mm thread rod on the back of my knife. So I've just drilled a 5mm hole, leaving 1mm for the threading bit, the tapping bit, to tap in the 1mm deep tap inside the hole. This is my little bit here. Now some guys do it manually with the with those little handle things that you clamp this in, and you turn it like that. But it's already set up. It's at the same angle that the hole is in. I find using the manual one, it tends to wobble a little bit. So all I do is I put it in like that. And you thought I was going to turn the machine on, didn't you? All I do is apply pressure and I turn it. Let's do it the other way so you can see what's going on. And then it slowly cuts. I'm putting pressure on the handle, pushing it down while turning it at the same time. And that cuts in. Whoop, that moved a little. Let's fix that. Let's unscrew it. Doesn't always go perfectly. It's almost there. Okay. Now the risk I run is not putting it at the same angle, but when you put the thread in, when you try and screw the tapping tool, it finds its way again. And they say, when do you know when to stop? Well, it kind of lets you know. There, you'll see it won't turn anymore. And then all I do is letting everything go, holding the vise, I just unscrew it. And there you go. You can see there nice and neatly, if the camera will focus. There we go. You can see the threads in there quite smartly. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to take that off and I'm going to grind this shorter so that this will fit nice and flush on there like that. Alright. Alright, now we can see how much I've ground off. So there's only a little bit sticking out of the threaded rod. If the threaded rod is too long, structurally the handle might be a little weaker, but if we keep it nice and short like this, we're good to go. So now we just put that back on there, and you'll see it only sticks out. Okay, just got to tighten it a little bit, but it does only stick out a fraction. There we go. And that's all it needs to stick out. And we take our piece here and put it on and tighten it. And if we did our job right, it should tighten up in line with the shape of the handle. So trying to do this one-handed is not so easy, but it seems to be tightening quite nicely. Okay, we'll take it. Hang on a second. Okay, so you see it's kind of skewed, but we just tighten it that extra little bit, and that tightens everything together nice and neatly. There are no gaps. What helps as well is if you take each surface and run it over your disc sander to make it perfectly flat. Now this is ready for gluing. What I'm going to do, what happens? Okay, first of all, what happens? Sometimes, what if you tighten it and it tightens not perfectly straight? Well, then two things. You either grind the threaded rod slightly shorter, or you grind a very small layer off the material right at the back, and that will allow it just a fraction of a turn each time. And you keep doing that until it lines up nice and neatly like this. But we were lucky today, so it lined up well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply a slow setting epoxy to this because of the multiple handles. It's really hot today, and the quick setting epoxy is going to set before I can assemble it. So yeah, the next time you see this, it'll all be glued together. And look for the photographs of the progression of this knife rather. I'm not going to show you how to grind it. You guys should know how to grind knives and to grind your own style handle and so forth. But yeah, there you go. That's the threaded pommel cap without a little nut on the end. There's no, when you polish this over, it's perfectly smooth, and you can just grind it and shape it, and you're good to go. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching.